For more on this, we're joined by hip-hop artist Slikour. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
How are you doing? I'm good, thank you.
Firstly, I just want to find out from you, do you think musicians have a role and a responsibility to use their influence to change social-political conditions in their country?
I think, musicians always reflect people, essentially, the global thinking, So I think everybody has a responsibility, and so do musicians only. But musicians just follow what happens in the world, essentially,
Well, is it about the rand in this case, or the much chased after dollar? I mean, in the US, the artists there can afford to stand up and back Barack Obama, or even criticize him, because they don't depend on government gigs there. But here in South Africa, where you can be a celebrity but still be really broke, they depend on gigs. So are we less vocal because of that, do you think?
I don't even think it's an artist thing, and I think that's where the problem comes, when you kind of just box it into music. I think if you look at from the private sector, even if you look at people who work for parastatals, people don't express what they really feel. You know what I mean? So I think the artists are it's a micro, and they make so much little money to actually even focus on them. It's a South African problem from a broadcaster perspective, to the private sector, to even the guys working within government who know that there is a problem, but I got to keep my job. So, that's the mode of the country. And artists just reflect the mode of the country. We reflect the fear. If anybody's saying stuff, we ain't talking about that, because no one won't buy that. You know what I mean?
Well, you took a risk recently and you broke out with your song Blacks Are Fools.
Yeah.
Do you think you achieved what you set out to do?
For me, it was definitely awareness, and once again, we as Black people, culturally, we haven't been raised to, no matter, the president is still an older person, and I gotta respect him, because that's how it is. So if you listen to my song and anything else, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm just saying, as a people, we've got an issue. So when I took it out there, I felt that it's my responsibility to say it. I'm not speaking for musicians. I'm speaking for the whole of young South African, where we need to go. And if we don't, and it's not even a music thing. It's about, how do you feel, where do you belong, and how do you feel about this country? And I feel I belong. I've got a big place playing in this country, and I got to speak for myself and for what I believe in,
Well, you face a lot of backlash because of that. Would you do it again?
Of course. I mean, I'm never scared of backlash. I understand backlash are people who are stuck in their ways. And I'm in the generation of, we got to change. I believe in South Africa. I believe in the potential. I believe there's millions of young Black kids, even white kids, that are poor and let's not talk about money, don't have hope. Money is something else. It's a material thing. Hope is actually the bridge that takes you there. So we have a responsibility to plant that hope. So we can't group people and say musicians aren't saying anything. We all got to say something. I said something, and people were speaking to me in corridors like, yeah, you're right. But, out there, they're like, yeah, just conforming. Because they also private sector, government, everybody is trying to protect their income. So, I'm just saying the whole of South Africa is actually scared.
Very quickly, do you think that this culture of bling that we're seeing feeding into the people who you're saying that are losing hope, they're looking up to a whole lot of musicians, and all they see is the swag and the bling, etc. Do you think we're going to start seeing more South African artists coming out and saying, well, actually, we need to address issues like crime, we need to address issues like the education things that we've seen in Polokwane, lack of textbooks, etc. Do you think we're going to see more artists doing that?
Look, I mean, once again, I always say that a good artist reflects where the majority's at, and the majority wants to. In fact, it's not even building. They just want to. They want to live. They want to achieve. They've been told that material things is how you progress. That's how the broader communication is. So when you see these kids talking about bling, it's because of how they've been brainwashed to believe that it's the material that gets you further, and not your heart, and not what you believe in. So essentially, that's not. Don't even blame the rap, and don't even blame the kids. The kids are seeing this, and no one is teaching them that your dreams are here. If you from a 4-room house or live in a shack in the ghetto, the only way you're gonna get to where you gotta go is if you believe in this, not if you believe in the rest of the world, So we're not teaching our people that. We're teaching them that, it's money, 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 money. We're not teaching them, let's build, let's grow, and work. It takes work, and it takes time. And maybe we're not the generation that'll see a whole lot of things, but we gotta be the generation that presses play. So we're not even talking that. We just talking quick money, get this, that, And that's what our kids are growing up into. They're seeing older people doing that, so that's what they also believe, you know? So don't even blame the rap, you know? Blame the people that are older than us that are actually not saying these things to us, that your heart is where you, and that's what the struggle is even about politically. That's where Biko came from. Biko came from a level of, it's not about what they tell you, it's about what you believe about what's inside here. And that's where we need to go with our people, and that's what we need to start preaching. That's what our media needs to start preaching. That's what we need to see on our televisions. Yeah, we've got to be proud of who we are. That's who we are, you know? Don't hate on the whites when they doing their stuff. Accept them and appreciate. Don't hate on blacks when they doing our customary stuff. Accept it and appreciate it, because that's what makes us colorful. That's what makes us South Africa. You know what I mean?
Let's wrap it up in some hip-hop lingo there. Hashtag Nuff Said. Thank you so much. That's as far as my rap is going to go for this morning. That was hip-hop artist Slikour speaking about an artist's contribution towards building the country.